Even out of sight, I can still feel the pyramid watching us, like we're its prey. White landscape, shadowed by darkness, fallen everywhere. It's like we never left the moon. At least there we had Eris to guide us. During the Golden Age, it was humans. Now, it's the Fallen. I don't get it. Why would anyone want to live here? Is it just me, or does something feel off about this place? I mean, besides the cruxes everywhere. Sometimes I wish we'd taken a break after everything that went down back on the moon. Not a long one. Just enough to recoup from facing down reincarnated enemies, being haunted by trauma ghosts, getting possessed by the entity of darkness. Now that I say it out loud, I realize a little R&R is probably not going to cut it. How are you holding up? I can't imagine how it must feel for a guardian to wield darkness. Did you see that thing floating around the stranger? Can't be a ghost. She's not a guardian. I wonder what it is. She told us she's not forged in light, if I recall, so it must not be a ghost. I wonder what it is. That power that Eramis has, I've never seen anything like it. If she succeeds in granting it to her entire army, well, she won't. Because we're going to stop her. We have to. Last time we saw the Exo-Stranger, she wanted us to fight the darkness. Now, after all this time, she's telling you to use it. I believe she's trying to help. I do. But she still hasn't explained exactly what she's pulling you into. It's not fair to you. Looking at her Vanguard report, I can see how Eramis would be a fierce opponent. But from what we've seen, even her own lieutenants fear her. It's hard to square that with what Variks told us, that she had good intentions once. That scares me, that the darkness could change a person that much without them noticing. I know the Exo-Stranger says the darkness can be controlled, but the archives are full of evidence to the contrary. Dredgen Yor, the Kentarch 3, and that's not counting whatever happened in the other timeline. Guardian, I know you're trying to do the right thing, but I can't shake the feeling you're going about it the wrong way. Think about what Variks said about Eramis. She turned to the darkness in order to help her people, and now look at her. I'd never forgive myself if the same happened to you. Stasis is powerful, but so is your light. I'm sorry. I wish I understood why you need to fight darkness with darkness, but I don't. Guardian, I don't know if I have it in me to keep this up. Wielding the darkness, I mean. Guardian, what if I... No, never mind. I'm okay. Guardian, how are you? Once Eramis is defeated, I hope you won't have to wield stasis anymore. I'm worried, Guardian. Wielding stasis may be taking more of a toll on you than you know. I can resurrect you with the light, but if using darkness consumes you, I may be powerless. Guardian, are you okay? I know. It feels wrong, wielding darkness. We'll do what needs to be done. I'm here if you need me. The Ziggurat, the Crux, the Splinters, all the darkness here on Europa. I thought I could stand it, but I had no idea we'd be here for so long, or that you would keep getting closer and closer to it. Ever since you picked up that first splinter, I keep thinking about the darkness possessing me again. Or worse, possessing you. What happens if you aren't the Guardian I know anymore? Stasis is an incredible power. So incredible, I wonder if one day you'll stop using the light altogether. I don't know how you do it, Guardian, wielding light and dark at the same time. As long as you use it all for good, I'll be by your side. All those Guardians wielding stasis, I know it's what needs to happen, but I'm glad you prefer the light. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Drifter was right. For better or worse, plenty of Guardians will be drawn to stasis. They'll need guidance, too. I often wonder how you became an Exo. Who you were before. Whenever I see something frozen in stasis, I remember back on the moon, when the darkness took over my shell. It felt like a cold wave swallowing me up. I couldn't move or speak. I could only listen as this voice came out of me. That's not something I want to experience ever again. Strange. I've run every query on Europa's history I can think of, and I'm only coming up with a handful of documents. With the colony here, there should be inventories, flight records. I found blueprints, but they're missing information too. Someone had something to hide here, which can't mean anything good. It's not a ghost, that thing floating around Elizabeth. She's playing it close to the chest, but I can't help wondering what it is. Talking to Zavala, he reminded me of something the stranger, Elizabeth, said years ago when we first met her. She told us that a side must be taken, even if it's the wrong one. Back then, we assumed she meant only the darkness, but now we know it's more complicated than that. I hope the Vanguard opens their minds to it. More than ever, we need to band together, light and dark, to defeat what's coming our way. Elizabeth, Drifter, Eris, I see what they mean now, that wielding stasis is necessary. For all its risks, we wouldn't have defeated Aramis without it. Though I won't lie, I'm relieved we've gone back to the tried and true methods. Better to save stasis for when you really need it. I owe you an apology. From the start, we were warned not to let our emotions take over. And that's exactly what I did. I got so caught up in worrying that the darkness might hurt, well, us. I didn't notice the damage that I was doing. Which is the opposite of what I'm here for. I'm your ghost. Light, dark, it doesn't matter. We're a team. You've been wielding darkness for a while, and you're still the same Guardian, fighting for what's right. This is all a big change, but I get it now. I hope you know I'm sorry for ever doubting you. I'm glad Elizabeth is sticking around for you and all the others that want to wield darkness for good. Even if the Vanguard changes its policy, Zavala and Ikora don't have the experience that she does. Plus, I'd hate to imagine what would happen if Drifter was the only one we could turn to for guidance. I think I finally understand the appeal of stasis. It allows for a subtler, more strategic kind of fighting. And, well, I can't deny it. It's kind of pretty. Think of the ice sculptures you can make for the Dawning. Rows and rows of people's minds are stored here. Yours may be here too. Maybe one day you'll be able to know why you became an Exo in the first place. These are what Clovis Bray called memory banks, digital recordings of people's minds. It's how they became Exos. That means any Exo's past could be here, even Cade. I know he didn't want to come back, but I do miss him. Even if we could bring him back, he wouldn't be our Cade. He'd be a blank slate again. Rest in peace, buddy. Guardian, looks like the Vex are acting up nearby. This could be an opportunity to try out your new power. What do you say? Guardian, we've got Vex incoming. Say, since we know what our light can do to him, why don't we give him a taste of your darkness? I'm getting a read on Vex activity in the area. Let's go see if stasis can stop them in their tracks. We may have defeated Aramis, but our work's not done yet. Get ready, Guardian. We've got Vex to deal with. Hey, Guardian, I see some Vex setting up Spire integration. This is our chance to use darkness for good. Guardian, I'm seeing a big spike in Vex activity. We should go shut that down. The Vex are at it again. Want to bet they're converting Europa into another machine world? We better put a stop to it. Looks like the Vex are setting up for Spire integration. We better stop them before Europa winds up like Nessus. Guardian, we've got incoming Vex. What do you say we do what Guardians do and bust them back down to microchips? Here come the Vex with a conflux. We need to get in there, or pretty soon Europa will be swarming with them.